Today I'm going to be installing some hanging bike racks from the back door of the Sprinter. So I've got these two mounts from Lolo Racks. These are $50 a piece. They're really nicely made, powder coated steel, replaceable like fuel tubing over them to pad it, and they've got some shock cord elastic bungees that hold over the top. So these combined with some 3D printed parts from Far Out Ride. He's got a website and a YouTube channel. I'll link them in the description, but they've got the STL files to 3D print these. This is for the back wheel mount. They've got some spacers and some other bits that just make it a little easier to mount this on a flat surface. So I'm going to be installing these and talking about it a little bit, and then eventually this will be shortened and the back wheels will rest on top of the generator box that I'm going to be building shortly. But for now, we're doing their full mount. This is a pretty heavy, I think it's 300 grams of filament. It's a pretty heavy part. Very well done. They did a really good job with their STL files. It was $10 for the files, and all the spacers and everything just really match up nicely with the part. And you can tell they were really thought out. I'm going to be applying some 70 durometer rubber between these and my new rack for the back doors to protect the powder coating. Anyway, we'll be walking through the process and we'll see how it turns out and show you how the bike hangs off it when I'm done. You'll have to excuse the mess on the bench. I'm in the process of organizing hardware and it's made quite a mess. The first thing we're going to do is take one of these pieces. It's really nice how all this fits together for some 3D printed stuff. It's well done. But this allows you to attach the bungees with them being pretty close to flushly mounted. So they come straight from the printer, able to accept a M6 bolt. So I've taken a couple of stainless M6 bolts and they just threaded right in there perfectly, nice and snug. So we're going to go ahead and install those on both of the mounts. So for the upper mount, these are 3/8 16 carriage bolts, and they fit perfectly in the carriage bolt squares on the mounts themselves. And then the spacer, which is tapered a little bit, if you can see that on the camera, is also square, but it's a really nice fit. We're going to go straight through the rack, and then I'm just doing a 3/8 stainless fender washer, lock washer, and a nut for both of those mounts. And we'll go ahead and install the elastic as well. For this one, we've ordered some stainless 2-inch 3/8 16 bolts, and they just fit into the hexagonal holes in this mount perfectly, which again is really neat for a 3D printed part. It's really well done, well designed, and it's just perfect fit through the holes. So that's just going to be mounted at the bottom to catch the back tire, and then this is printed out of TPU, so it's elastic. It's 90 durometer, and that'll hold the back wheel in place. We're going to go ahead and test fit this on the van and see how it looks. Now, those just fit beautifully. I've had very few projects in 2 years of this van build that have gone this well as far as just fitment and everything going together nicely. Very pleased. I'm going to snug these down and then we'll put a bike on here. I can adjust the spacing some on this side. I'm trying to play with the symmetry a bit. Actually decided against putting a layer of rubber in between the rack and the spacers for two reasons. One, I barely have enough thread protrusion on the right hand thicker side of this spacer to use my lock washer, and number two, the 3D printed filament's soft enough. I don't think it's going to damage the powder coating even with lots of vibration. I can see now that I've got this together that I have installed this side upside down for the hooks. The bike's a great fit. As you can see, probably from the video, if not I'll move the camera around in a bit, but as the bike tilts about a 15-degree angle because of where the handlebars are bent. So I don't have a second bike out in the garage right now to load it up, but it doesn't look like there'll be any clearance issues. Everything looks really nice. I'm going to go ahead and install these elastics. Just going to loop them through and tie a knot. I'll tell you what I like about these, aside from having a really nice hammerite finish and being well done, the fuel tubing, the end caps, and the shot cords all easily replaceable. So these are very modular, simple. They're $50 a piece, $20 shipping, so $120 for both of them. But it really ends up with a nice, well done rack. And some of their prefab racks are substantially more expensive than, probably half what I paid for this whole rear door rack and the two hangers. Well, this is the finished product. So you've got these shot cord bungees that go around the handlebar, and then this 3D printed part from Far Out Ride catches it. Otherwise it would be, pressed between the rack, so this gives it a better angle. And you can of course adjust the length of this shot cord by putting that knot in tighter. I've only got one of these blocks right now. A friend who printed these on his 3D printer ran out of filament because this thing took a ton. So got one more coming, but you get the idea. Seen the bike in both positions. I didn't realize it was going to be kicked off at a bit of an angle. The fisheye on this camera is going to make that exaggerated more than it is, but I'd say about a 10-degree angle on the bike. And my eventual plan for this, if you've been watching other videos, is to put a slim version of this on the lid of my generator box. So if that comes to fruition, that's going to increase the angle of the bike by quite a bit. So it's going to look a little off having them both hanging there at a 25, 30-degree angle, but gotta do what you gotta do. This TPU strap looks incredibly strong. My seat is actually making contact with the rack, which I do not like. Because of my dropper post length, I can't go down any further into the tube, so I don't know if I can adjust that length or anything or not. But for now, I would probably put something in between the seat and here to make sure I didn't catch any, cut my seat up. But it holds the back wheel just fine. It really looks solid. Shot cord up top looks like it's going to hold it really well. This is going to work for my road bike. In fact, I can go ahead and get the road bike out, my gravel bike out, just to put it up here and have two bikes up to give you an idea what it's going to look like. Sans rear tire mount, of course. you'd want to drop your seat post all the way down, which isn't ideal for a road bike. I don't have a skewer on there, so a quick release. But plenty of ways you can make this work. It looks great. I've got a tiny bit of flex up at the corner of my rack. It's 1/4-inch aluminum plate, so I don't foresee it being a problem. I could always put in another rubber puck at the top and drill another hole in the door. But overall, it's a fantastic fit and finish. The combination of the Lolo Racks with the 3D printed parts from Far Out Ride's website give it just a real polished look. So I hope you find this video helpful if you're thinking about a vertical bike hanger like this. If you compare this to some of the horizontal solutions like the Thule, I don't even remember what they call it, but the Van XT or something. I mean, you're lifting 20, 30, 40 pound bikes over your head horizontally and then fussing with some vertical bars, and just a lot. It's a lot to get a bike up there like that, especially after a long day of riding and the bike's covered in mud if you're mountain biking. So this is just super quick. That was my first time ever loading it up here on camera. It's a little bit fiddly, but I mean, it's seconds compared to that. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments, and consider subscribing to the channel. Check out the rest of the camper build, and have a good one.